to sell on Amazon, how to find keywords, optimize your keywords, and some other things. So with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen. This is a live webinar, and one of the benefits of being live is I can see the chat box. I see Rod Graves says hello from SoCal. I see Wesley Sperino says hello. So I'll be monitoring the chat box. I might answer some questions during the presentation. If it fits in, or if I can try to multitask. Any other questions I'll save till the end. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So like I said, Prime Day, woohoo! It started yesterday in the middle of the day. It goes tonight until midnight. Prime Day, like I said, is the biggest day of the year. It was estimated to be more than $2.4 billion in sales in 2017. This year should be even larger, even though Amazon had so much traffic yesterday that their site had crashed for a few hours yesterday. But thankfully, it's back up. Yesterday was still a huge day for me, even though their site was down for a few hours and it was only lasted about half the day. I did about 2.5 to 3 times as much volume just yesterday as what I've would have done like the Monday prior to that. And today has already started out to be a huge success. So let me know in the chat box right now if you guys are already selling on Amazon or not yet selling on Amazon. For those of you who are not yet selling on Amazon, hopefully using the information that I'm going to share during this webinar, you can find a product, get set up, you can be selling by fourth quarter, and you'll also be all set for next year on Prime Day. What's another crazy statistic that we just had to throw in here is that there's over 100 million Prime membership holders. I think this is worldwide, but this is still crazy to me considering there's only like, 350 million people in the US and 100 million Prime members. That's crazy. So obviously, if your product's not already into Amazon, it's a little bit late to take advantage of today's Prime Day, but I'm gonna show you guys the tips, tricks, and hacks and methods for finding products and selling on Amazon so you can take advantage of Prime Day next year, all right? So when I'm looking for products to sell, these are some of my favorite methods to finding products. What we found over the years is the number one thing that holds back most sellers is finding a product to sell. And if you're already selling on Amazon, then the best way to scale up is to add more products to your account, to your list, right? So throughout this webinar, I'm gonna show you guys how I've launched almost 200 successful products on Amazon using these different methods to find these different products, okay? So the first method that I use to find products to sell on Amazon is just products that have high sales and overall low competition. And this is a little bit high level right now, but in a few minutes here, I'm gonna switch to a screen share. You're gonna look over my shoulder as I walk you through exactly step-by-step how to do a lot of these, all right? So high sales, low competition. I'm looking for products that are selling a few hundred units per month, even though they have a low amount of reviews. The second method that I use is finding products that have high sales, but a poor listing, okay? So if your competitors are selling, even though they have a really crappy listing, then that's a great opportunity for you to sell a similar or the same product with a better listing, and you should take away a lot of their sales, all right? The third method that I'm gonna be talking about today is finding products that have a high number of sales, yet they get poor reviews, so a poor average rating. I'm gonna show you how to find these different products, all right? So with that being said, let's not waste any time. I'm gonna dive right into this. Where I'm gonna start is inside of the Jungle Scout web app, all right? So Jungle Scout has 2 different products. I'm gonna be talking about both of these products throughout today's webinar. Just for clarity's sake, this product right here is called the Jungle Scout web app. It's a SaaS-based application, an online-based application. You can see we're at like junglescout.com, and this is a piece of software that runs in the cloud, all right? And runs in your browser, and it's a monthly subscription. The other product I'm gonna be talking about is called the Jungle Scout extension. It looks like this. So it runs on Amazon.com. So as you can see, I'm on Amazon.com right now. Once you install the extension, you have this little JS in the top right-hand side. And when you click it, you see this window. And as you can see, it takes a few seconds and it loads up with all this information. I'm gonna be digging into more depth about the information shown in this window pretty shortly, all right? But let's start here in the web app. I'm gonna click the tab right here that says Product Database, all right? And what I wanna do here, what this is we've rebuilt Amazon's catalog in a way that's user-friendly for sellers to search through, right? So if I go to Amazon right now, like I can't type in here like, show me the products that sell well even though of low competition, right? That's just not an option. Amazon.com and all the Amazon marketplaces are built to sell goods to consumers, and they're not necessarily meant for product research, right? So that's what we've done is we've taken all the products on Amazon, we've put them into our database, and we let you sort through them, all right? So let's go ahead and select all of the categories. These are all the different filters that we're looking at now. I'm gonna go ahead and select all the categories, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove a few of them. The products that I don't like to sell, and just for clarity's sake, throughout this webinar, I'm going to mainly be focusing on like the private labeling or white labeling type method of sourcing goods to sell on Amazon. Of course, you can also source goods from wholesalers or doing the arbitrage thing, but really private labeling is my favorite method for selling goods on Amazon. So that's the one we're going to be focusing on this webinar. All right, so items that I don't like to private label, items that I don't like to source from China, are items that are very complicated, are items that are really huge and bulky, are like media, so like DVDs, books, things like that. Those are poor private label products, and maybe one or two other that I'm forgetting. But now that you know that, I'm gonna remove like the watches category. Oh, I know the other one. The other one was I don't like to sell products that people have like kind of like a strong like brand allegiance to. So for example, like handbags or clothing or whatever else, oftentimes people like to are like shoes. People like to sell, or people like to purchase products of their favorite brand. They're less likely to purchase private label products for those, all right? So I'm gonna remove watches because they're just very complicated. They break easily. Remove software. Let's remove music, movies, Kindle. Remember, I don't like any media, so I'm gonna remove books and CDs. Let's see, most electronics are pretty complicated, so let's remove that. And I think everything else is good. All right, so now, what's the first method that we discussed? Remember, is high sales with low competition. So what I can do inside the product database here, I can find items that are selling at least, let's say at least 300 units per month, even though they have a low number of reviews. And the reason that I look for a low number of reviews is that signifies to me that these products have not been on Amazon long because they have a low number of reviews, yet they're still selling well, all right? So let's do only products that have under, let's say 50 reviews, all right? So they sell at least 300 units per month, which is about 10 a day. That's pretty solid, even though they have under 50 reviews. I click the search button, and I started out with, I forgot to look, but probably like 20 or maybe even 50 million products. That's narrowed down to 332,000. That's still quite a few. So let's try to narrow this down a little bit more. Let's say under, let's say 20 reviews. All right, so I'm gonna search again. There's still 147,000 results, which is a lot, but it's a little bit better. So let's start browsing through these, all right? Now, so remember, these are all of the products on Amazon that sell at least 300 units per month, and they have less than 20 reviews, okay? So these are all good potential product ideas. And just to be clear here, when I'm private labeling a product, all I personally care about is how well it's gonna sell on Amazon, how much money it's gonna make me, okay? And I would recommend for you guys to do the same. A lot of people get a little bit caught in the trap that they wanna sell something like really cool or sexy or hip or whatever else, or they're really passionate about. Me personally, I actually don't really care about that. What I care about is that the product sells well on Amazon and that it makes me money. I don't care if like if this is like a product that's cool to me or like that I would want to use every day, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look through these and I'm gonna try to find the products that I think would be easy to get manufactured, all right? So this third or fourth result, whatever this was, this is a little bottle opener, okay? So let me click on this. And as you can see here, looks like this one just went out of stock. I guess they didn't have enough stock for Prime Day. But what this is a, something like this would be very easy to get manufactured in China, right? Right before it went out of stock, they were selling about 350 units a month, which is quite a few. Let's see if we can just look through here real quick and find a few more products that we think would be easy to get manufactured in China. And again, I'm talking about items that are simple. The smaller and the lighter weight, the better. And I stay away from like media products or anything like that. Let's see, we could look at a few of these plastic table covers. Those would be pretty easy to get manufactured. Wow, lots of those are selling well. Tons of plastic covers, holy smokes. What else do we have here? Cooler latches. Those are probably patented because they're like specific for that Igloo cooler, I think. Beef chews, sure. Something like beef chews, I might have to get a US manufacturer, which I'm not that familiar with. I usually get my products manufactured in China, but this is possible. Okay, so what I found here is within a few seconds, just looking at the first half of the page, I found 3 potential product ideas. A wall mount bottle opener, a plastic table cover, and beef chews for dogs, all right? So now we know that these individual products are selling well. This guy only has 1 review. It said it was selling about 350 units per month before he ran out of stock. This person only has 6 reviews. I forgot to look, but it's at least 300 per month. And these beef chews, they have 20 reviews, so still not that many, and they're still selling well, okay? So we know these individual products are doing well, but the next thing we wanna check is this a kind of like an outlier? Is this just one person who just happens to be doing better than everyone else? Or is this a good market as a whole for us to go into? So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search the whole Amazon store for let's do wall mount bottle opener. All right. So these look appropriate. Some are a little bit different than others, but these are all wall mount bottle openers. So I'm gonna go ahead and just run the Jungle Scout extension here. And I didn't do any of these searches kind of like ahead of time. So some of these are gonna be total busts, but I think that's valuable for you guys because then you understand, like, I want you to look over my shoulder as how I would really be doing really be doing my research if I was looking for a product on my own, because it's valuable for you guys to know why certain opportunities are good and why certain opportunities are not, all right? So let's look at this opportunity. It looks like the average price here is okay. I prefer to sell products that are a little bit more expensive, like minimum 17, 18-ish dollars. When you're selling products that are cheap, like for example, this one's $8.99, after Amazon fees, you only have $4.65. So, you know, if this thing costs like, let's say $2.50 to get manufactured and shipped to the US, that only leaves you with $2.15 profit. And while that's a relatively good return on investment, you just have to sell a lot of units to make much money when you only make $2 a pop. You know, if I'm selling 10 a day, that's only $20 a day. You know, I have to sell like 50 a day to make like $100 a day. So I'd prefer to sell higher price items. For example, this guy is $26, net's 18. So, you know, let's say this thing costs $6 or $8. Let's even say $8 to get made, which it's actually probably cheaper than that in China. The profit on this one would be $10.72, all right? So that's much better. Like if I'm selling 10 of these a day, I'm making $100, right? So that's why I prefer a little bit higher price products. So the price looks okay. There's some that are too cheap, but there's other ones that are more expensive, so that's nice. The next thing I'm gonna do is look to see how many sales there are. I like to sell in niches that there's like 2,000 or more total units being sold every month. So when I go through this and I look at this, if I were to add these all up, there's well over 2,000 units per month. And then the best way to gauge competition is the number of reviews, okay? So I like to look for 3 or maybe 4 people in the top 10 with under 50 reviews. This to me is a good gauge that it's not very competitive, okay? Because these relatively new sellers are selling well. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 people in the top 10 with under 50 reviews. So that's pretty darn good, okay? So overall, actually, would be a pretty good opportunity. I would want to sell some of the more expensive ones as opposed to the ones that are only like $8.99. But this is a product that I personally would actually be willing to sell. And another good gauge is the opportunity score on this is a 7 out of 10, which is actually pretty darn good. It's almost impossible to get a 10 out of 10. A 9 is pretty rare, and actually 7s and 8s are actually usually pretty good opportunities, okay? So this is a type of product that I'd be willing to sell. That usually doesn't happen on the first chance, so let's see if we can, hopefully this is a kind of like a bad product so that I can show you what bad opportunities look like. Plastic tablecloth. All right. So these are all plastic tablecloths. Let's run the Jungle Scout extension. And remember, the first things that I'm looking at is what's the sales price, how many units are being sold every month, and how competitive is it. Sales price for this one, there's a few people with higher priced. Like for example, the one that was in the web app. It looks like because those are 12 packs, where some of these other ones are only like 2 or 4 packs. So, okay, like I could sell like a 12 pack, so I could jack up the price a little bit. Is there 2,000 units being sold every month? Yeah, there's a ton of units being sold actually. So if I were to add all these up, this is probably like 10 or 12,000 units every month being sold of plastic tablecloths. So that's very good. And remember, the next thing I look for is the level of competition. So I like to find 3 or 4 sellers in the top 10 with under 50 reviews. So let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4, so that's actually good. So this would actually be another product that I would, like another type of product that I'd be willing to sell. Of course, I would have to get quotes from my factories to see if it would be profitable. But for example, if I was gonna sell a 12 pack like this guy, I don't know what these cost. You know, I'm guessing they're probably pretty cheap, maybe 25 to 50 cents each, which would mean, let's see, that'd be $3 to $6. Let's just say $5. So that's pretty good. You'd make roughly $4.50 on each unit you sold. If you sold 10 a day, that's pretty solid, around 50 bucks. 20 day would be $100. So this is actually another good opportunity. And again, I guess it has the opportunity score of 8 out of 10. So I was hoping that one was a bad one. Let's try one more. I want to find you an example of a product that I wouldn't sell. So beef chews. All right, those all look like beef chews. These are actually pretty darn expensive, which is nice. Plenty of sales. And the top person only has 28 reviews, which is pretty low. Another 20, 10. All right, so this is actually, like I said, I didn't do this ahead of time. I was trying to find a few that opportunities that I wouldn't sell, but actually this is the type of product that I would be willing to sell. So this is like another good opportunity. And again, the opportunity score shows 7 out of 10. It might be a little bit harder to find a factory for this product. I don't know for sure, like on Alibaba, if you would find these or not. You might have to try to find a US manufacturer. Let's try a little quick. Dog, beef, chews. So it looks like there's certain types of beef chews from China. However, those don't quite look like the products that we're looking at here. These look a little bit different, but I don't know. I would have to dig into it a little bit more, but the goal of this webinar is not to show you how to go about finding factories, but that's the gist of it. You go to Alibaba. So, all right, so we had 3 out of 3 good opportunities there. Let's go on to the next type that I look for, all right? High sales with a poor listing quality, all right? So what I mean by this is I'm looking for products that are selling very well, yet have a really crappy listing. Because if you can find products that are selling well, even though their listing's really bad, you know, you could create a better listing, right? Sell a very similar, the same product, and you could take away a lot of their sales. So the way I go about finding those types of products are, this time let's go ahead and put in a minimum price of $17. I'm gonna say I want products that sell at least 300 units per month and have a listing quality score of 25 or less. So what we've done is we've graded all the listings on Amazon 1 through 100, and 100 being the best, 0 being the worst. And we've graded on them on the likelihood that the listings would convert. So really crappy listings that probably are really poor at making sales, I would, you know, those would be rated like 10, 20, 30. They'd be like pretty low. Whereas like a really nice listing would be rated like 80, 90, 100. So let's see, all the products are at least $17 on Amazon, sell at least 300 units per month, and have a really bad listing, all right? So I'm gonna click search. All right, and there's about 15,000 of them here, okay? Let's just look through here to find some items that we think would be easy to manufacture in China. All right, like some of these don't even have images, as you can tell. Let's let's see. This one looks like some would get manufactured in China. I'm just gonna choose one more just as an example. Just something else that I think would be, looks like it's easy. Like I usually stay away from supplements and stuff because they're hyper competitive. Here's one. This would be easy to get manufactured in China. All right, so let me go through each of these examples real quick. This one, I go about it a little bit differently because what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out how well these individual products are selling and if I'd be able to easily make a listing that's much better, okay? So this sprinkler head, it sells about 445 units per month, okay? But look how bad this listing is, all right? You're allowed 7 images, it only has 1. The image is so bad that I can't even zoom in on it. Like most, when you hover over it like this, you can zoom in on it, okay? It has one bullet point, you're allowed 5. It has 1 bullet point that just says zinc, and it has a pretty short title. And let's see, does it have a description? No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, it does. But it's a pretty short description. There's no HTML or anything else. Let me just in comparison, just show you like one of my listings. All right. So this would be an example of like a pretty high quality listing. All right. There's a long title that includes lots of keywords. I have actually on this product, I have 9 photos added to it. Okay. So lots of photos added to this. So people really get a good understanding. You know, I have like a little competitive matrix comparing it to our competitors. I've used all 5 bullet points and they're rich with information. My product description, right? It's easy to read. It's much longer, so it includes more keywords. It has like these little arrows with like bolds in it and stuff. So this is like an example of a high quality listing. Now, in comparison, when we look at this thing, like this listing's a piece of junk, and this guy's selling 450 units per month. All right. So you could just find a very similar sprinkle head. Okay. You could get it sourced in China. You could just make a high quality listing, right? That has a whole bunch of really nice pictures. It has some like lifestyle photography. It has good bullet points and title and description, all that kind of thing. And you could take away probably like almost all of the sales on here, okay? So let's look at another example. This one's a little bit better because they do have multiple images. However, the title is very short and they actually don't have any bullet points. So again, you could just find the same thing and just do a better job with the listing. And here's another example of a product that only has 2 images. It has a short title. It has no bullet points. And it has like 2 sentences for the description, even though, how well was this thing selling? 420 sales per month, okay? So again, you could easily get this product manufactured in China. You could do a much better job on the listing. And whoa, oh, I guess because it's 48 of them. That's expensive, $177. So yeah, I think you get the idea here, right? So like tons of different opportunities. So let's go on and let's talk about the last method that I use for finding products to sell on Amazon. I'm looking for items that have a high number of sales, but have poor reviews. So people are rating them poorly, yet it's like they have a bad average star rating, yet a whole bunch of people are still buying them, all right? So this is like a great opportunity for Amazon sellers. So let's keep a minimum of $17. Let's keep at least 300 units per month. But this time I'm gonna remove the LQS and I'm just gonna do the rating. And let's do 3.7 stars. 3.7 stars visually shows up as like 3.5 stars when you look at it, which is pretty bad. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if I've ever bought anything on Amazon like less than 4 stars. So the fact that a whole bunch of people are still buying these products, even though they have really bad ratings, means that you could probably improve on these products and make quite a bit of money off them, okay? So there's still 92,000 results. So you can even double up some of the filter criteria here. You know, I could say like only show me products that have at least $17, so at least 300 units per month, have 3.7 stars or less, and have a relatively bad listing. And that gets us a few less results. So let's go ahead and look through some of these, okay? Wheeled suitcase. That'd be pretty easy to get manufactured in China, but it's kind of tough to ship. Right now, all I'm doing is literally just looking through at the different images, looking for products that I think would be easy to manufacture. I see some products on there that we've already looked at, but let's try to find ones that we haven't looked at yet. Let's see. Why not? Let's look at this product, okay? So when I look at products like this, this product is selling 377 units per month. All right. The listing's relatively bad, but that's not why we found this product. We found this product because it has 3.6 out of 5 stars, which is pretty bad. All right. So when I look for products like this, what I do is I look through the bad reviews. Okay. I see what I could do to improve the product and then sell the improved product on Amazon. So let's go and look at all the 1-star reviews and see if there's any easy things that we could communicate to the factory that we need fixed. Melted in the dishwasher, cracked in 2 weeks, cap would not seal, spills while you're drinking, not dishwasher safe, cheap. All right, so this thing just seems like overall like poor quality. So one idea here is just to work with the factory to see what other types of materials they can make this water bottle out of. It sounds like it melts in the dishwasher, even though right here they say dishwasher safe. And it seems like it cracks pretty easily. So you could ask the factory like, hey, I want a 1 gallon or half gallon reusable drinking container like this, but I want it made out of like the same material that like Nalgene bottles are made out of, okay? So that's the kind of thing you communicate to these factories, and they could help you like change the type of plastic that it was made out of and use the same mold, okay? So that's one good example. Let's see if we can find one other example real quick of just something that would be like easy to improve upon. Plastic golf balls, that'd probably be a pretty good one. Beach bath towel. You guys probably noticed, but I already sell hooded baby towels, so I know quite a bit about those. So let's try to find something else. What's this? Umbrella table screen. Another really bad listing. I don't even think that's a photo. I think that's like a drawing. But let's see what kind of bad reviews it gets. All right. Zipper broke within 45 minutes. Came damaged. Received the net with holes in it. Zipper came off the end. All right, so something like this product, it seems like what I would do, I would communicate to the factory like, hey, I want to use higher quality zippers, even if it costs a little bit more money. So use like YKK zippers instead of probably whatever cheap, crappy zippers they had been using. And the other thing is either a higher quality mesh that was less likely to rip, or oftentimes products like this just need to be packaged better, because like a couple people say it arrived with holes in it. Oftentimes if it has poor packaging, then it will get damaged in the shipment, and that's why that happens, okay? So something like this, it might be as easy as just using a higher quality zipper, which probably only costs like 50 cents or $1 more, and maybe just packaging it better. And the combination of those two things, you could probably get good reviews on this. And I'm sure all you guys know this, but if you sell like pretty much the exact same product, but it has like 4.5 out of 5 stars instead of 3.7, like everyone's gonna buy yours instead of this one. On Amazon, reviews are like gold, so everyone always goes after the products that have the highest number of reviews, okay? And not to mention, it'd be pretty easy to make this listing a lot better because it only has one image, really crappy title. It's surprising that people can even find this thing. So you could add a whole bunch more images and stuff, and this would become a lot better, all right? So that is another good product opportunity on Amazon. I realize that all of the examples we found were all good opportunities, and I said I was going to show you like a bad opportunity, just so that you know kind of like what to look for. So let's just try to find something that's like much more competitive. You know, I know tons of people sell these yoga mats. I know they're very competitive. So let me just show you real quick, you know, like what something looks like when it's too competitive that I wouldn't want to sell it. All right. So, you know, the price on yoga mats is fine. The number of sales is through the roof, right? Like super high demand. but look how many reviews all these products have, like 700, 8,500, 700, 900, 150, 4,300, 2,300, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so this is very competitive. It would be very hard to rank on the first page for yoga mats. So this is the type of opportunity that I wouldn't want to sell. I would want to sell a lot of those products that we talked about earlier, you know, like the wall-mounted, wall-mounted bottle opener, pretty much any of the other products that we've looked at this webinar, I would be willing to sell. All right, so there's tons and tons of opportunities on Amazon to be selling these products. So we're 30 minutes into the webinar, and there's still a few other things I want to show you. So I'm going to jump around and show you a few other things. So like I said earlier, this right now that we're looking at, this is the web app. Inside of the web app, there's 4 different features inside of it: the product tracker, the product database, the niche hunter, and the keyword scout. And let me just show these to you real quick. So with the product tracker, let's just take one of these yoga mats and add it to it. So what you do is you can just copy and paste the URL, you insert it into here, and then add to tracker, and then this is added. And the best thing to do is to create a category for each of your product ideas, all right? So I just hit the plus button, I would do yoga mats, all right? And then all I would do is I would just drag and drop this yoga mat into that category, and now I can collect all those ideas, all right? And what's nice about the product tracker is you can see how many sales this product has had. For this particular product, there's only 7 days of data available, but for some products, there's up to 60 days. And then every day that you track it, there'll be 1 more day of data available, okay? So this shows us how many units have been sold each day that this has been selling. This one sells very well. It's 350 units a day, but of course you saw how competitive this thing was. Let's go look at some other examples. For example, these marshmallow sticks. This shows you how many units they had in their inventory and how many units were sold each day. For this product, there is 60 days worth of data because it's been in my tracker for a while. So this is really nice. I really like the product tracker for 2 reasons. One is it is a way for me to organize all my different product ideas. Like I have marshmallow sticks, eyeglass straps, picture frames. You know, we could add one for, what were we talking about earlier? Wall-mounted bottle opener. So, you know, I would do that, and then I would add all the wall-mounted bottle openers into there. So it's a nice way to organize the different products. And then the other thing that's really nice is then you can just see exactly how many units they're selling each individual day. So like this person actually ran out of marshmallow sticks on June 29th, all right? And you can kind of see, you can kind of see how well they were selling up until then, all right? So the product tracker is really nice. I always use that after I found product ideas to track for a few weeks or a few months up until I purchased the product. We've already gone over the product database. That's what I've been demoing in the first half of the webinar. The niche hunter is really cool. It's similar to the product database in the fact that there's a whole bunch of filters and you can change the filters. However, what's different here is instead of looking at individual products, you're looking at whole niches. So this one's Nike's men clothing. Another example is a 20-ounce soda bottle, okay? So, you know, neither of these I would want a private label, but what you can do is you can sort through here and say, hey, show me all of the products that are at least, let's say $15, so at least 300 units per month, max 2 words, and yeah, that's good. So I can make a search there, and then I see all of the niches that meet those particular search criteria, and I can go through and look. I can go and look through these for like a type of product that I'd want to sell. All right, and lastly, we have the keyword scout. The keyword scout is the newest feature inside of the Jungle Scout web app. Okay. So quick reminder, because I know this is always confusing for people. Remember, this is the web app. It's on junglescout.com. It's a web-based software tool. The Chrome extension is a little bit different, right? It runs on Amazon. So right now I'm on Amazon.com. I can run the Jungle Scout extension here, and then I have all these pieces of data that we were looking at earlier. I forgot to go through each individual column, so I can just do that real quick. One of the nice features is it shows you historical sales. So if I click on sales, this product's only been on here for a few months, but it shows you how many units were sold those months. Let's go ahead and just click on a few of these other ones. All right, so this one just has a few months worth of data as well, but it shows you how many units are being sold for each of those individual months, all right? We already talked about the net column. If you click it, you can enter your product cost and see how much money you make. You can also see the price history. So for this product, we have price history all the way back till March 26th, and you can see how it's kind of changed over time. If you click and hold, you can zoom in for a certain time frame. So it looks like this thing's been selling between $12 and maximum of $20, all right? So that's really nice as well. So feel free to click on some of those other ones. You can find other items. Also, if you go in here into settings, you can add some different columns like fees, tier. You can show sponsored products. So if I save that and then reload it, you'll see that I now have a few other columns in here, right? So the LQS, as I talked about, was the listing quality score. The tier is like standard or oversized tier. So that's really nice information to have. But let's bounce back into the web app, into the Keyword Scout. I did an example search here, marshmallow sticks, but I can, we could search anything, hooded baby towel. And what this does is this comes up with a few things. So when I search hooded baby towel, this shows me the search volume for this individual keyword, all right? Hooded baby towel, 6,000 exact match and about 15,000 broad match per month. And then I can also see a whole bunch of similar, so these are other like related keywords, okay? Now, a few of the things that make Keyword Scout so special are, one, our search volume data actually comes directly from Amazon. So other tools use like Google or Bing to estimate how well this, or how many times this is searched per month. Our search volume data actually comes straight from Amazon. So it's true, it comes from the source. We show you the recommended giveaway, how many units you would need to give away per day for 1 to 2 weeks to rank in the top 3 spots. We also show you the headline search ad recommended bid, the exact PPC bid recommendation, and the broad match PPC bid recommendation, okay? And the relevancy score is how relevant this particular keyword is to the keyword that you entered, all right? So a lot of you guys know, I chose those 2 examples because I sell marshmallow sticks and baby hooded towels, but let's just look at this again real quick. Marshmallow sticks, you can see how many searches has been made there. But one of the things that really sets Keyword Scout apart from every other tool out there on the market, besides that we have real search volume data, which is probably more important than anything, we also have, of course, all of the HSA and PPC bids that most people don't have. But still one of my favorite things about it is when you use some of the competitors' keyword search tools, when I would search for something like marshmallow sticks, all the keywords that it would give me would be like long marshmallow sticks 36 inches, marshmallow stick blah, 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 or this or that or the other thing. It doesn't give me any phrases that don't include marshmallow sticks. So that's not that valuable. What's so powerful about Keyword Scout is it knows that people search for things like camping cookware and then end up purchasing marshmallow sticks. It knows that people search for s'mores kit and then buy these marshmallow sticks, or that fire pit accessories. People search for that and then end up buying marshmallow sticks, okay? So this gives you all these relevant search results, all these relevant keywords that don't necessarily include marshmallow sticks, okay? And another thing that you'll find is marshmallow sticks might not be my most relevant keyword that has the highest search volume, okay? So when I look through here, like I did marshmallow sticks, but actually marshmallow sticks only gets 1,300 exact and 3,300 broad match. What would be a better term for me probably for my main keyword would be s'mores sticks, because that's what people are searching for, right? When they search for s'more sticks, they want a stick to roast a marshmallow on, and it actually gets higher search volume than what marshmallow sticks do, okay? So this is really valuable then to look through here and see what your main keywords should be, all right? So Keyword Scout was just released about 2 months ago, and the feedback from it has been absolutely phenomenal. People are really loving it. So I see that we have a bunch of questions in the chat box. I do see that there's a few talking about the promotion. So let me just talk about that real quickly since this is Prime Day. We're celebrating Prime Day by offering a deal, and then I'll start answering some of the questions that you guys have, okay? All right, so we're offering 2 different deals to celebrate Prime Day. Both of them are expiring tonight at midnight, the same day that Prime Day ends, okay? So the first offer is 4 months of the Jungle Scout web app, which it's $69 a month. You get it for 4 months. That's $276 value. The Jungle Scout Pro extension, which costs $197. We're also giving you access to the Sourcing Bible ebook. It's like a 30 or 40 page, really in-depth ebook that shows you exactly how to find profitable products to sell on Amazon. And we're giving you access to our new advanced PPC video course, okay? Valued at $100. So if you look at all this stuff together, it's $641 value, all right? But we're gonna give you a discount on it. But first off, the second offer, you get a year of the web app standard, okay? So this gives you access to use it for an entire year. That runs $69 a month. You get it for 12 months, so it's $828. You get the Jungle Scout Pro extension. It costs $200 or $197. The Sourcing Bible ebook, again, a really in-depth 30 or 40 page ebook that shows you how to find profitable products to sell on Amazon, and access to our PPC course, which is $1,193 value. But of course, we're running a promotion on these since it's Prime Day and I've been talking about this. So both of them are about 50% off. 4 months of the web app with everything else is $319. If you want a year of the web app, which I would recommend for most people, this lets you make sure you have plenty of time to find products and you can also launch multiple products, it's $519. So it's again about 50% off, all right? This does expire tonight at midnight. I realize that might be kind of fast for some of you guys to make a decision. So just know that we do offer a 100% money back guarantee. Try it for 2 weeks. If you don't like it, just send us an email, support@junglescout.com. We'd be more than happy to give you your money back. No questions asked, no problem at all, okay? So just anytime 2 weeks after you purchase it, so 14 days, just shoot us an email. We'll be more than happy to give you your money back. There's some people in the chat box that I've already seen that just want the web app because they already own the extension. And if you want that, you can also find the deal at junglescout.com/prime-2018. We have a deal for you as well. However, for you guys that don't own any of the Jungle Scout products, I would recommend one of the first 2 options since they also do give you access to the Chrome extension. So someone as Wintum asks, does the Chrome extension cost money? Yes, the Chrome extension costs $197 if you buy it individually. All right. Well, let me see what other questions we have for you guys in here. And let me actually just go ahead and just show you the page real quick. So it's junglescout.com/prime-2018. The page will look like this. And when you scroll down to the bottom, you'll see the 2 deals that we're offering here, okay? So $519 gets you a year of the Jungle Scout web app. $319 gets you 4 months of the Jungle Scout web app. And both of them include the Jungle Scout Pro extension, which is $197. Also our Sourcing Bible and our PPC video masterclass, okay? Anastasia asked, how do we get the PPC course if we already have the web app and the extension? Unfortunately, we don't sell the PPC course individually. At least we're not today, so sorry about that. Alex asked if he can get started for $7,000 to private label. Yeah, $7,000 is plenty of money to get started with private labeling. Let me scroll up and see what other questions you guys have for me. Could you give the examples with UK numbers? In the UK, I would probably, since there is a little bit less demand there, instead of looking for 2,000 sales, I'd probably just look for like around 1,000 or 1,500. I think that's a good amount of demand in the UK. And I would probably still use the same guidelines for the number of reviews. Super Roo asks, what advantage does Jungle Scout web app have over some of the competitors? That's a great question. So the Jungle Scout web app was the first product research tool on the market, okay? So we have the most data. We've started well before anyone else. We have the best team backing it up, so the best support team. We also recently did a case study where we compared the Jungle Scout estimated sales versus a number of our competitors, okay? So we took 1,000 ASINs that we had real sales data for, and we ran our tool versus like a dozen of the top competitors. So there's tons of Jungle Scout knockoffs now. And what we found was our sales estimates were significantly more accurate than any of the competitors, okay? So ours had an average or median deviation of plus or minus 7%. And the next closest one was like 2 or 3 times that, I forget. And some people who were like claiming to be like accurate and whatever else, a lot of their numbers were off actually by 100% or more. So that's pretty scary when a product's really selling like 500 units per month and they're telling you it's selling 1,000 per month, okay? That's a big difference, and that's like, could really mess you up, all right? So those are just a few of the reasons that Jungle Scout really stands out above the rest. Bert Matthews asked, the PPC bid from Keyword Scout, is that for exact? So we actually have 2 here. We have the exact match search volume, and we also have the broad match search volume. So we are displaying both of those. Let's see. Can Jungle Scout be helpful for products that you're looking to buy from distribution, or is it only worth using if you're looking to develop your own private label products? Good question. Yes, a lot of people use Jungle Scout to find wholesale products. This webinar focused on private label, but let me just show you real quick what I would do if I was looking for wholesale products, all right? I would select whatever categories you're interested in, okay? What I would do is I would go up here and find all the listings that only are sold by third parties, so fulfilled by Amazon or fulfilled by merchant. As you know, if you're selling wholesale products, that it's very difficult to compete against against Amazon for the buy box. So I don't want to sell products that Amazon themselves are selling, okay? Now, some of my filters here, you know, I don't know if you have a minimum price. Let's just put $10. One of the things that you probably do care about is you probably only want one seller selling these items, because that means, or maybe like 2 sellers. Actually, a good thing that you can do to make sure it's not a private label product, you could do a minimum of 2 sellers, but also a max of like 2 or 3, because that would mean you would still get plenty of rotation through the buy box. And then you would probably want products that are still selling pretty well, like let's say 100 per month or more, all right? So you can make that search. And then from here, you could get ideas for products that you would likely be like willing to sell, all right? So I can just look through here. And some of these may be private label products, other ones probably won't. What I would do, I'd probably look through at the sellers or the brand to see if any of those like look familiar or look like the type of brands that I'd want to sell, okay? But this is a great way to find items that sell well on Amazon that are can likely be sourced from wholesalers and that Amazon's not selling. So all those things are really valuable for you if you're trying to source from a distributor. I'm going to take a couple questions real quickly from our Instagram. So on our Instagram story, you know, we put one of those like little ask me anything type boxes. So we collected a few questions from there. If you're not already following us on Instagram, I suggest you do so. Just search for Jungle Scout and you'll find us. You'll get a lot of behind the scenes look and a lot of great information about just selling on Amazon and what's going on in Jungle Scout and all that type of stuff. So one of the questions we had on Instagram is, can you explain what the HSA bid is? Yeah, the HSA bid, let me just show you real quickly. This right here, this top part, this is the headline search ad, HSA. So in order to get the headline search ad for Yoga Mat, let's see, Yoga Mat. It costs about $4.15, okay? So it's $4.15 every time someone clicks on this, all right? So that's what the headline search ad bid is. Let's do one more question from Instagram. This Does Jungle Scout support the wholesale method? I just kind of answered that a little bit. Yes, it does. It's very useful for that as well. How do I get ungated for baby products? You essentially just need to go through Amazon's process, try to add an ASIN in that category, and if you're gated for it, they'll give you the instructions how to get ungated, but essentially you just have to submit some paperwork associated with it. How do I use Instagram? Bob Pennington, download the Instagram app on your smartphone and then search for Jungle Scout. Yes, Alex, it's better to use Seller Central over Vendor Central. Vendor Central is meant for big brands like Nike and Black & Decker and whatever else. And you actually have less control over your listings through Vendor Central. So it's actually a lot of those big brands are actually even switching from Vendor Central to Seller Central right now. The only benefit of using Seller Central, if you're a giant company and there's no one in your company that knows how to use Amazon, they're just more used to something like Vendor Central where Amazon just gives you a PO, but that's like the only benefit of it, okay? Just as I see one question here, when does this expire? This does expire tonight at midnight, all right? This is a Prime Day sale. Prime Day ends tonight at midnight, so that's when this deal is gonna be expiring as well. How to use Jungle Scout to research products that have variants? Yeah, so what you can do is, let's look at my Jungle Snugs. They were out of stock, but they just came back in stock. If you run Jungle Scout on a product that has variants, one sec while this loads, it will show you the different variants in here, and then you can see which products are like, which colors are selling best, all right? So in total, I'm selling about 350 or 400 units. But it looks like the white one's my worst. It only sells 50 a month. Blue's the next best. It sells 97. Gray sells 108, and pink sells 101 per month, all right? So you can go on people's listings and you can look at this and you're like, oh, gray's the most popular. It's selling about 100 units per month, all right? There are a few categories that Amazon gives the same rank for all of the child products. And when that's the case, unfortunately, all we know is the total unit sales for all the variations. You can't see each individual one, just as a heads up. If you're looking for the deal, it's junglescout.com/prime 2018. It's shown on this slide deck right here. All right. Subaru again asks what separates Jungle Scout from the competitors like Viral Launch or Helium 10 or one of the other 100 knockoffs. I talked about this a little bit, but just one more time. Jungle Scout's been around the longest. We have the most data. We have the largest team, so devote like the most resources and efforts to always improving our products. We have the best support team. We offer support 24/7. We also talked about this just a few minutes ago, but we just recently did a case study where we took 1,000 products, we took the real sales, and we compared the Jungle Scout sales estimates to like, it was like 10 or 15 different competitors, and Jungle Scout was by far the winner for the accuracy of the sales estimate. So that makes a big deal, okay? Like I was saying before, some of them were off by like 100% or more, which is really dangerous when it's telling you that it's selling like 1,000 units per month. In reality, it's only selling 500 a month, okay? That's a big difference, and you don't want to like invest your money on a whole bunch of units when you don't really know how well it's selling. So by using Jungle Scout, you have kind of like the reassurance that you need that, you know, this stuff is accurate. There's a lot of like kind of like fly-by-night type companies that we've seen come and go over time. You know, it seems like every other month there's like a new one that's around for a little while and then dies off or whatever. Jungle Scout was the first in the industry, and we're by far, everyone tells us that we're by far the best. All right. At what stage in the FBA process would you recommend subscribing to Fetcher, Splitly, and Forecastly? Once you're up and selling on Amazon, that's when Fetcher, Splitly, and Forecastly, those types of tools will be useful for you, okay? So if you're not yet selling on Amazon, you don't really need those tools. You know, Jungle Scout's the one that helps you find a product to launch. But after you've launched and you're selling, Fetcher's great for managing your finances. Splitly's awesome for doing A/B testing, and Forecastly is great for doing inventory management. So that's what I'd recommend, like after you're kind of like you're up and selling, all right? All right, let's see what other questions we have here. Looks like someone asked on our through Instagram, when does Jungle Scout come to the Australian market? We probably later this year. The Australian market's still very small. There's not much sales volume on the Australian market, so we haven't devoted too many resources to developing it yet. So yeah, probably like a little bit later this year in 2018. Olga says, you pick the product, want to private label it. How do you know that you can put your name brand on the box? That's actually really easy to do. All you have to do is just work with your manufacturer and just say that you want to put your logo or brand name or whatever like on the packaging and on the product. That's something they do all the time, and it's really easy to do. SNMGL said, how do you launch without jump send? If I were to launch without using jump send, I would probably just use Amazon PPC. Of course, you can do things like try to build like an email list and launch to them, but that's pretty costly. Some people try to do like Facebook ads, but again, it's pretty difficult and pretty costly. I mean, pretty much everyone finds that like the easiest and cheapest way is just using jump send, but if you didn't want to use it, I'd probably just do Amazon PPC. No, unfortunately, Komao, we can't break the deal up into different payments. We have to just pay the full amount. As a quick reminder, these are the two options. So it's $519 for option one. This gives you a year of the Jungle Scout web app, a lifetime subscription to the Jungle Scout Pro extension, and then it also gets you the Sourcing Bible ebook and the PPC video masterclass. The other option gets you 4 months of the Jungle Scout web app, also gives you the Jungle Scout Pro extension and the ebook and the PPC masterclass. If you already have the extension, there is a deal down here for you to only get the web app. But if you don't have either of them yet, I'd recommend one of these top two options because people find the most success by using both of our tools together. They're really meant to like go together, okay? Let's see if we have any other. Just as a quick reminder, this deal does end at midnight tonight, okay? So the deal is ending when Prime Day ends, and that's tonight, all right? So if you're looking for it, junglescout.com/prime 2018. Looks like we have time for one more question, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right, Alex says, based on your initial investment budget for doing private label, how do you allocate your expenses? Like how much inventory do you buy compared to other expenses? Alex, probably what I'd recommend for you is to go to the Jungle Scout website, and we have a free case study that you can check out. So go to junglescout.com, hover over the free resources right here and click on this, the $1 million case study, okay? The $1 million case study is a fully transparent case study that we did where we launched we've launched now 3 products, and we're scaling this business to $1 million in revenue. I think we're at like around 800K in revenue, but we share every step along the way. And I think if you go down here to I think it might be here session 2 when we talk a little bit about budgeting, but it's one of these, maybe session 2 or session 3. The gist of it is you need to factor in photography if you can't do it yourself. You need to factor in getting like packaging designed if you can't do that yourself. There will be probably like some PPC expenses. So we kind of help you figure out what kind of expenses you can expect. Nerve said, have you ever seen an opportunity score of 10? I just found one. Nerve, I've only actually ever found one opportunity score of 10 in my life. So congratulations on that. That's pretty amazing. It sounds like it's a pretty good deal, or it would be a pretty good opportunity. So with that being said, guys, we are at the top of the hour. I've really enjoyed hanging out with you guys the past hour. I hope you've enjoyed hanging out with me. If you are interested in taking advantage of the deal, it's junglescout.com/prime-2018. This has been a fun webinar. If you guys have any questions, if you're having trouble checking out or you're having problems with anything else, just shoot us an email, support@junglescout.com. We'll be more than happy to help. We have a team around 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can't get any better support than that, can you? Support@junglescout.com.